Do you know global waste generation could increase 70% by 2050 as per a report published by World Bank? Yes, you got that right. Annual global waste production will increase by 70% if current conditions persist. According to a Waste 2.0, a newly published report from the World Bank that was multiple years in the making. Currently, about 2.01 metric billion tons of municipal solid waste (MSW) are produced annually worldwide. The World Bank estimates that overall waste generation will increase to 3.40 billion metric tons by 2050. Huge number, right? An estimated 13.5% of today's waste is recycled and only 5.5% is composted. The report estimates that between one-third and 40% of waste generated worldwide is not managed properly and instead dumped or openly burned. Nearly half a trillion non-degradable water bottles are purchased and consumed each year, but only fewer than 7% are recycled into new water bottles. Globally, more than 1 trillion single-use plastic bags are used each year, but only less than 5% gets recycled. It's really undelightful to accept that the growing world population is causing deadly negative impacts on the planet. The current model of production and consumption creates a lot of waste that in many cases do not get reused or recycled. You might be thinking, why did I present all of this data right in front of you, right? Just to show the way that our self-generated waste is impacting us instead in such a bad way behind. Yes, you heard that right. And this is the reason why waste becomes an inseparable part of our lives, and hence our topic of the discussion today. Hello everyone, this is Ms. Jia Chaudhary, an 11th grader from DAV school, and I will be serving as the moderator for the day. Today we are here at a panel discussion, accompanied with three worthy panelists whose opinions are going to make us delve deep into rethinking about waste and its successful management. Without any further ado, let's introduce our panelists. So our first panelist is Ms. Binika Pradhan. Ms. Binika is an 11th grader. Besides, she is an enthusiastic debater, manner, and speaker. As a student of Paragon Public School, she has won public speaking tournaments for 3 years continuously in her school. She had also served as the Deputy Secretary General of the Paragon NUS. She actively participates in the tournaments that come her way and eagerly delivers her insights to the mass. And we hope the same for today. Thank you, Binika, for your lovely presence. Our second panelist for the day is Mr. Samarth Jha. He is a social activist as well as mental maths trainer, debater, runner, and a budding entrepreneur. He never misses an opportunity to raise his voices and rather creates opportunity for himself. Interested in international politics, he loves discussing about topics of global concern and delivering his opinions over it. Thank you, Samarth, for being in us. And also an important information, he is the founder of the Green Project, which is conducting the panel discussion today. So that's a great honor to have him here. And our third panelist is Ms. Yashvi Srivastava. Ms. Yashvi is an 8th grader, but besides her young age, she is an enthusiastic public speaker. She has won a number of public speaking tournaments, but guys, winning is not everything. She has participated in a lot of it. It's really interesting to know that earlier she had glossophobia, but now she has overcome it and she has become the best speaker of her school as well. So we are really glad to have her here as one of the panelists, and we look forward to know her insights and extract some fruitful conclusions out of it. All right. So let's begin the conversation and let's not waste any time and get to the point. Oh, did I ask waste any time? Oh yes, our topic was waste, right? Okay, so let's begin the panel discussion listening to the opinions of our panelists. What say? Maybe. So I would not like this panel discussion to be boring or something to deliver the theoretical opinions, but I would like to ask about, you need to cover the waste management services in your locality, how many days per week does a person or the waste picker comes at your home and gets your waste done. So I need all the overall opinion, because we say that charity begins at home, so we must know what happens at your home and what you do with your waste. So along with your opinions, please deliver that thing through, and let's give them the floor. Binika, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much. So it just talks about the waste management in my community. My community is actually very managed because one of the organization is there playing an important role in waste management. And about waste management, like every day, like we have around 2 to 3 bags of waste from each home. And in case of my home, like what I see in my home is that my mom, she always like tries to reuse a thing, and not as a fact that we don't create waste at all, but waste is created everywhere, but we have to degenerate it or have to decrease it. That is the main point here. And I see a lot of people, they create for like 5 or 6 bags of waste, but some people, they create 2 bags, and that's what happens in my locality. And regarding the waste management by Nagar Palika, it has like, it takes waste for 2 to 3 days in a week, and that is how the waste management is going on in my society, my community, as I see. And what I give, so my opinion in this point is that the waste is not completely managed till now, because I see a lot of difference. When before I used to see a lot of more better management point here, but now it's quite going down, but it's still managed, trying to be managed because of the organization here. But it was not like this before, because when I was like very small, they had a proper drainage pipe from each home, and they used to manage it in a proper place, and they used to utilize it in agriculture. But now I don't see such things, because even the houses are grown up in my areas, and I see a very small piece of land where agriculture is done in my area. So that is a kind of negative impact that I've seen here. But overall, management is going on clean. Like everything is clean here. That's good for us, good for our health. But there are many more areas where the management is not going on good, and that's something that we have to figure it out. Or we have to figure it out from here, and that's it. Thank you.
Oh wow! Like actually, I got really glad to hear that at least somewhere the waste management is going great. So as per our panelist Binika, waste management at her place is going really great, and she's satisfied with it. Okay, so Binika, I would like to ask you one more thing. I just came to know that your mother, she tries to recreate the waste, or she tries to reuse it in some other way, like than the common people. So would you like to share something on that?
Yeah, of course. Like, actually, I'm a really lazy person in this thing. But my mother, she's a housemaker, and what she does is like, she tries to make it a compost manure, and then she tries to use it in her agriculture. And we have a very beautiful garden all because of her. And every day she goes there, she flowers, she just waters it, and then I can see a lot of growth there. And that's something called reuse and recycling and reducing the waste. And of course, in my house, I can see all 3 R's going on, not because of me, but because of my mother, of course, and I appreciate her for that. And there are many more people for sure. Some people are there who are painting who paints the wall with different flowers on it, and then they create such a good environment putting the flowers there.
I'm so sorry.
And that's really nice to see. From my home, I can see a lot of progress, and that's nice.
Oh wow! Like really, people are fond of gardening. I haven't gotten many such people. So what about Yashvi? Do you like gardening? I think I was not audible to her. Okay, no worries. Moving towards the opinion section, let's delve deep into Yashvi's place and know what's the scenario at her place. So Yashvi, the floor is all yours. Please share your opinions with us. Isn't she there? Okay, no worries. I think there's a internet connection problem at Yashvi's place. So we shall continue with our third panelist, Mr. Samrit Jha. So yeah, Samrit, the floor is all yours.
Yeah, so what shall I be talking about most probably, or more specifically, if I say?
So you also need to talk about the same thing. You need to deliver your opinions regarding waste and waste management in your eyes, plus the waste management services at your place. So we are going like a survey to know about everyone's place, and then we'll go about solutions.
Yeah, like according to me, like waste is one of the most important part of our society, and what we as individuals or teenagers have been learning from a very small age, that waste is something that is intrinsically bad or naturally bad, and you need to go away from it, right? So what we see the composition of our society, right? Even the waste collectors who are there in our society, I personally feel that they don't necessarily get the kind of respect they want, right? And due to this, what really happens is that people do not necessarily give them the kind of waste, or people necessarily do not like give them the waste at the first place. Like they expect those waste collectors to come at their doorstep and take all the wastes, or even though they don't necessarily do that, might not do that, they mix up the waste and give to those waste collectors, right? So when I specifically talk about in my locality in here in Viratnagar, right, I feel that there is a lot of problem with the waste system and how it works, right? So before this meeting and before this program, right, I had interviewed a lot of waste collectors individually as well, right? So I asked with them how this system works actually and what are the problems they face. And when I got to know that the Nagar Palika people who come at our doorstep taking the natural waste, like the biodegradable waste from our locality, they are mostly gone to the dumping sites and they are being burned there, right? Those people say that's totally okay, right? I asked them, is it okay? And they are like, yeah, and they're doing a good job, right? And they are still being thrown to them. So when we see the problem is not just from the upper level, but at least we feel that from the lower level as well. Like around my society right now still, I feel that there are a lot of people who burn their waste, and at that point of time there are no one to say them anything, because there is just a very, very systematic problem, I think, that lies in our society. Like if someone is burning waste and they are naturally not very strong, right? So anyone can go up to them and they can say that you don't necessarily do this, right? This is wrong. But when someone is in a stronger position, right? When someone in our society are mostly strong, right? You definitely cannot go to them and call them out that you are doing the wrong thing. And if we call them out for the right thing, they term as we are being indisciplined, or they term as that they do not like that, right? So I feel that this is a problem that we are facing right now, and there is a wider problem to this. There is not just from the ground level, but from the upper level as well. And in my society, I feel that my society, my house is very deep, like it's inside my locality, right? So here no one comes to pick up the waste. Even the people from municipality, they go from the highway and they necessarily do not come here, and we don't even know when they come out, right? And there are different kind of people, right? Like in Viratnagar, we have two kind of waste collectors. One are kawadiwala who collect the biodegradable waste, and others are the kawadiwala, right? Others are people who collect non-biodegradable waste. So we don't have a separation over who collects what, and there is just a mix-up over this waste collection, and there is no proper specificness. Like I don't know when the next person is coming to collect the waste at my doorstep, and I feel that this small problem of not knowing when that person is coming to my doorstep actually impels people like us to burn the waste, which I don't burn, but most of the people actually do this because they feel that they don't have anyone to collect, right? So I feel that this is one of the most important problem, and I have been personally feeling this as well, right?
Okay. So as per our last speaker, the waste mixing up is going on. We have mix up everywhere, and he believes that the problem lies behind the curtain as well as in front of the curtain. So I think a lot of changes need to be done at all the stages rather than just below or just the upper stages. So his points were of great concern, and we really got some great insights about the waste management system of Viratnagar. Let's hear to another person of Viratnagar, our third panelist, Ms. Yashvi Srivastav, and let's know what's the condition of waste management at her place.
I would like to start with a story. Few years back during Diwali, I was helping my mom cleaning the house. A lot of things were collected. We considered them as waste, which I thought could be the recycled or reused. But everyone at my home decided to throw them off. Sadly, being a child, I had to agree to it. But the question in my mind, Why throwing? Why not recycling? When few days back I was researching on the topic waste management, I got to know 85% of waste in Nepal is either burnt or dumped in water or land. Why is the situation like that? Is that their mentality? 90% of global disease burden and 6.3% of all deaths are caused because of low waste management system in our locality. Having the best management system and most recycled waste, Germany was once at situation, but they managed to be the cleanest one. 3 years ago, in Nepal, according to the law, every 3 years ago in Nepal, according to the law, every family has to recycle. They were given 2 bags. One was to put all the non-recyclable things, and second was to put papers, plastics, etc. Nevertheless, this was a flaw. Government has to abolish it. Whose mistake it was? It was all about what we as a citizen did. We did not follow the law. Now government is trying their best to do in everything. Now we have to come forward and act now. Many examples are set in front of us. The best example I can give you all is Dhankuta city. Locals reuse the material and recycle bio-waste using a well-known method called vermicomposting. In comparison to all, Dhankuta is considered the cleanest of all. Okay. Another example I would like to give is of Himalayas. There people are aware about the nature and it is a touristic place. So they don't want the place to get destroyed. So they manage the waste themselves. Nepal has many NGOs, activists and organizations. But until there is no strict rules and support from citizens, these actions are just small enhancement in our society. I still regret what happened few years back in my home. So now I recycle everything what I get. In this Diwali, 15 jam jars were collected at my home. So what I did was I made water candles out of them. And not only this, many plastic bottles were collected. I recreated them and made a small miniature model of a house. Even like this, we can do many things which can help our society being clean. That's it. That's all I want to say.
Okay, that was really great to hear that you recycle things. Really. So as per Yashvi, we heard her story, her Diwali story. And yeah, that actually, even I personally feel that being a child, when you raise your voice in the family, it becomes a bit less dominant than the elder ones. So that was what I could also personally connect. And also you talked about recycling materials. That's really appreciable. And also one point that she talked about, which I would like to bring into light, is the support from citizens. The government, it enforced the law, but the citizens did not support it. So it was not the fault of the government that time, but the citizens. But still, citizens blame government and not themselves. So yeah, it's all about the people, even the people who are sitting in the government and who have made that law do not even abide that law at their homes. So that's the perception of the people, and let's see what we could do to change it. Okay, so I think the opinion round is all finished. We have received all the opinions and the situation, the scenario of waste management at everyone's place all over Biratnagar and as well Kathmandu. I was really delighted to hear that people are recycling their waste. Someone's mother is gardening and reusing the waste. Like, it's really contributing to society in an indirect way. So I think now we should move on to the topic waste and waste management and ask some questions to our panelists so as to know what they think about those questions and how could they answer it if they were in the situation. Okay. So shall we start with the question and answer round, panelists? Or is there anything else to share?
No, not.
Okay, so I'll be asking my first question. Okay, let's not expose that right now. Let me throw the question, and then I'll then assign a person. Okay, so the question is, okay, before the question, let's imagine a situation. Suppose you need to go to a new place for a vacation. You are choosing a place where you could go and you are planning all over about it. And then you encounter with two options. Both the places are like very rich in natural beauty and heritage, and your parents are suggesting you to choose out of the two of them. So place one has clean roads, dustbins and spots, and like posters are pasted over the way that please use dustbins and then don't throw the litter around. And even people are engaged there to check if the rules are being followed. Well, on the other hand, the place two, it has a stinking smell all around, and garbage is littering on the roads. Okay, and people don't use the dustbins at all. And the most important thing is people are burning their waste on their doorstep. However, both the places, please keep in mind, both the places have the same sort of natural beauty, and the natural beauty could not be compared. So now, Miss Yashvi, could you please tell me which place would you like to visit? The first one or the second one?
I would visit the clean place, as there were, it would be a nice scenario and a hygienic place for us, as the place which has waste around it can cause a lot of health hazards which can even risk a person's life.
Okay, so you think that the second place has improper waste management system and everything is littering around, and this is not only spoiling the human health but also the economic profit that they could earn when you would go there as a tourist. They are even missing that, right?
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, how do you think, how important is waste management? As you chose a place on the basis of the situation, the scenario of waste in that place. So, I think you really know the importance of waste management. So, I would definitely love if you could share what is the importance of waste management, and how are people not encouraged towards waste management? Could you just tell us something about it? The question will be dropped in the chat box as well.
Okay, thank you. So what I would like to say is waste management is very important, either it is economically or environmentally. First, let's go like this. If there is no waste management, then there will be waste around it. We'll produce the material as much we want. We'll produce more materials than if we recycle it. Then this would cause lots of money to produce more. And second thing is, as I said, it risks a person's life when there is garbage all around us.
So how do you think, why do people, they are not encouraged towards doing it? It is so important.
I think people are not aware about what can happen if we don't focus on the waste management. Awareness is lacking and importance in their mind is lacking. Many people are trying, but each and every citizen are aware, then why should we recycle material or reuse the material? Then it would be an easy step for us. For a country, for a nation, citizens are its building block. For a good citizen is asset for a nation. So we as a citizen, each one of us has to know about, it should be known by each one of us, and we should implement what we can. A small step of an individual can be a big step. So each one of us has to do. Mainly what I would want to say is awareness is lacking in our society. If there were awareness around us, we would not have been in this situation in this present day.
Okay. So Miss Yashvi, am I audible there?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, my system is hanged a bit. No worries, I'll keep speaking. So Miss Yashvi feels that we need to establish that why not we attitude within ourselves, and start recycling the waste from us, right? And also she thinks that awareness is lacking, and it's not only the awareness but also the attitude of people towards it, and that's what she also included, that why not be attitude. Let's keep that under hashtag and move ahead. Okay, so if as Miss Yashvi said that waste management is so important, but still people are not aware about it. So Mr. Samarth, I would like to give you a situation and just try to fit yourself into it. Okay, like if one day you were given the authority or say a window of opportunity to rethink about waste management and implement it, like in what way would you grab that golden chance and make the best use of it? Precisely, what according to you could be the solution to the problem of waste management at a grassroots level, and like what kind of policies might help to curb these bad practices, and what could be the role of youth in it?
Yeah, like when you talk about policies, then I feel that as teenagers, policies are very much wide and they are very much deep. So we need to deeply think about that and come to a consensus. But I'll be telling my policy which I feel like personally at the last. But more importantly, when I feel that there is at the grassroots level, what we can do is that, as Yasvi just told, like at the grassroots level, we can just aware people, right? We can let people know that whatever you are doing is something that is harmful. And in this way, when we aware so many people, then only we can make a change, right? But there's also one problem with awareness. Like when we just have awareness and not solution, then I feel that awareness cannot like play a decisive role in that. Like we know that alcohol is bad, right? But still, so many people in our locality consume it. You know, a lot of things are bad, but still, so many people do it, right? So there is no solution to like reducing alcohol, right? That's why people are still taking it, right? So when people have the solution to reducing alcohol or narcotics, then obviously those people would be shifted towards that direction, and hopefully they can reduce it, right? But since there are very few ways, then most people are not doing so. But in the case of waste, it's completely different. Like we have a lot of solutions. Even if people are aware or if people are known about at this time and in your locality, these many times people would be coming in a week, the waste collectors, then that will make a lot of change. That will reduce or diminish the burning problem of waste in everyone's locality to a very great extent, right? But adding on to that, we believe, or I personally believe, that even if we have a system where there are dustbins, there are three kinds of dustbins, that collects the solid, that collects biodegradable, and that collects like wet wastes, right? So if there is something this like system, then I think people would, or if people are aware that you need to throw your waste at this point, at this place, then I think that people would be doing that, and through that it can make a lot of difference in a grassroots level, right? And when we talk about policies, I believe personally that in Nepal as well, Nepal as a country, I feel that Nepal is somewhat a country where environment is very much prioritized. Like even in Kathmandu, if we complain to the police regarding someone is burning waste, then I feel that those police actually go and tell you should not be burning waste, and that what's implies here in Virakana as well, right? So I think policies are there to a greater extent here. But just if people actually speak out, say something, if that is just what happens in our locality, if that is just what happens at the grassroots level, then I think to a very great extent we can make a greater impact, and that will last very long. Yeah, so that's it from me.
Okay, so after listening to our second panelist, we really got some new type of solutions to how could the problem of waste management be solved. Really convincing. But if these steps could get executed as planned, then definitely we would rethink about waste. Hey, but rethinking about waste, how does that thinking come from? That orthodox kind thinking? Awareness campaigns or media? Maybe. As far as I remember, these sources always encourage us and try to draw an inclination towards making a better environment for rational practices and this and that. And where do they lag behind? Really matter to think on. Even Yashvi said that lack of awareness of people, but awareness people get is from the awareness campaigns and the media. And where do they lag? Okay, then we have our third panelist still in our hand. So let's hear about this point from our third panelist on why are awareness programs and media programs not so impactful in creating the impact they should, and what could be an alternative to this. And also, do you think they fail to focus or address this area? Please elaborate it a bit.
Thank you so much for the question. Regarding the public awareness campaigns, I see all the way there is a public awareness campaign regarding environment, and that's really great. We all people we know about the advantages, disadvantages of solid waste, of waste management, but why do we ignore it, or why don't we actually go with the awareness program? The question mark comes is actually the awareness program going on in the proper way, or is there something missing out? So what I think, in my opinion, is that the agenda for the public awareness should be changed, because precisely the awareness program has the agenda to aware the people, or to realize or to make people know about what is waste management, or about the methods of waste management. But now it's a high time where we should make people realize on how to do it. We should try to make people more involvement on such kind of recycling process, or with any kind of reducing process, or we should make people involved. That will be a more effective public awareness campaigns, I guess. And why are people lacking interest? Because even though they know about the importance, about the impact of it, still people are not aware, or still people lack the interest. It's all due to the involvement, and it's all because of what people think, that they're so-called smart people, they're qualified, so they think they're smart enough to understand, and we should make people realize that their actions can actually bring a bad reaction afterwards. So that will be a proper solution for that. Let me give an example. Let's imagine, if you why people in Nepal, they enjoy more going into the village areas, or why people love those places where there is more natural beauty. We have natural beauty in Kathmandu itself, but Kathmandu is really populated and really polluted nowadays. We see there is waste management, but not a proper waste management, right? But why people they try to go out of valley for traveling? It's because we have a proper waste management outside. We try to, as Samad said, that there are lots of there's no any respect for the people, such as waste collector in our society, and that kind of orthodox thinking in our society has created such kind of impact. We try to say that unqualified people, and due to lack of education and lack of awareness, people are not being able to manage the waste. But I don't say that it perfectly, because if you go to village areas, people are not completely qualified, but they manage the waste in a very proper way than compared to the people of Kathmandu, I guess. Because in Kathmandu, we don't care about anything. We give a damn care about those things, and we just give the waste to the waste collector, and that's it. That is going on here, and we cannot say that people are qualified so they can manage the waste. People of villages and other areas, except for city areas, we can see they have managed so well, and that's like a smart people do. And here, being a qualified people, we are not doing. That is a bad thing here. And here, people acting they're so-called smart, but they are not going with the flow. So I guess that realization of responsibility should be there in the people, and moreover, we must campaign more into such kind of areas, like in city areas, in Biratnagar, in Hetauda, in Kathmandu, in Chitwan. These places are more. These places are with those people who are qualified, but they are not actually performing their responsibilities. So involvement program should be the main aspect of any kind of public awareness, and realization of responsibility, which should be done in our society. So that would be a solution, and a solution for any kind of awareness. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Miss Vinika. So Miss Vinika said that people should themselves be involved in the campaigns to make their campaigns more effective. Yeah, of course. And the best point I liked was that we said that when people gets educated, they know what's wrong and what's right, and they become wise. But really not. After getting educated too, there's something called the line between the wise and the unwise, that doesn't cross only by getting education, but also by implementing it, by understanding the situation and taking the right decision at the right time. And the villagers are taking it, so they are wise at that place, and we are not. So we must learn from villagers at this point, and that was really an inspiring point, I feel. And also, she said that the cities should be more looked over, right? And I think that the villagers could be brought about to cities, and they could give us training on how to do it because they know more about it. So yeah, her points were really helpful and effective. Let me connect the dots now. Actually we came to know about the problems, what are the problems, and where are the backlogs that people don't invest their time in managing their waste. From Samarth we came to know about how can we manage our waste, what are the solutions to waste management, like how can we implement waste management in a better way. And from Binika we came to know about how to now motivate the people to involve themselves in waste management. So we just completed the entire scenario and come to a fruitful conclusion that after creating an awareness in the people and after establishing perfect solutions, we can definitely have a society which is free of waste. Like here, I would like to add an example of Sweden, if that's unknown to you. Sweden is now going to become a zero waste country, not a city, but a country, because they are using good methods of waste disposal. Like they incinerate about 85% of their waste, and using that the fuel or the ash that comes out of that incinerator, they use that to generate electricity, and also they use that to generate the electricity in the poor people's house. Like at those places, I don't think someone can be called poor, but the people whose standard of living is a bit less, so they use that energy at those places. So they are making waste something called an economic gold. We just talked about waste, but I want to say that waste is really an ignored gold. If waste is treated properly, if we try to manage our waste properly, then it can turn out to be fruitful as if it was something derived from mines, because we think of minerals as our resources, but waste are also our resources, because you cannot just think about, you have already used that thing once and after that it becomes waste, and even then you can use that. So just think what kind of gold waste can be for us. Really, I think waste could be called an ignored gold. So I would also like to listen about the opinions from my panelists of how can they think, like why in their opinions can waste also become gold. In my opinion, it was because of this. So in your opinions, what do you think? Why can we call waste to be gold, or to be something important to be looked over? We may start from Yashvi, if she has anything, and if she doesn't have, then it's there's no worries. Why do you think waste is important? Simply, not management, but waste.
Can I get a little time of thinking?
No worries. We need to arrive to the best conclusions. Take your time. Binika, would you like to share in the meanwhile? Anything, your real life experiences. Like, I was really inspired listening to your stories and your experiences. We did not talk about the data, and we did not talk about what people do, but we talked about what we do, and that is what was really something that could be reliable and believed. So Binika, would you like to share?
Yeah, like how you connected, like you said that waste can be a gold. Yeah, actually I believe that waste can be gold. When I heard from my grandparents, okay, I'll say a story again. Okay, I just heard it from my grandparents, and they used to say that during that time they had a proper drainage pipes from homes, and then as I said, there was a specific area, right, and they used to use it in the farm areas again, and then the crops were really good at that time, and that was somehow they used it as an income source. Those management or that waste was actually used as an income source by our ancestors. And let me say, like, some people take waste as a burden or a problem, but some people also take it as an income source, because that waste can actually generate income to some people, like waste collectors or trash collectors. There are also some people who generate incomes by waste. As they collect waste, they generate income. So in that way, I guess that waste can be gold in two aspects, as income source, and another way that it helps in crop areas, it helps in generating the crop productivity. So in that way, I guess waste can be good. Thank Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
It
We
was
got
really
to know all
fun.
your points.
So I just prepared it so fast. So what if I do?
No worries. You included a great point that I had totally missed. That yeah, waste could be used as manures to our crops, and then it could be
Yeah, of
turned
course,
out
it's income source as well.
really
Yeah, I've
fruitful.
seen so many
Exactly.
examples as well. So thank you.
Thanks a lot for your opinions, Binika. So yeah, so as per Binika, waste could be useful to us because it performs as manures to our crops, and it gives and benefits our crops, benefits our farms. And on the next, on the next hand, she also included that waste can be run on an economic model. Like, even I have been encountering many business models that run on waste management, and then they're earning a lot more than expected. So really, waste could be called gold. Let's see what Samar thinks about it.
Most of my points are similar to what Vinika said, and I think it aligns very well with what she said. So I don't necessarily have a lot of things to add on to that, but yeah, even I feel the same. That waste is one of the most important thing of our society, and it is ignored, right? But that ignorance cost a lot of things to a lot of people. Like even when we see in farming, as Vinika told, right, or even in gardening, whenever there are dry leaves or the roots of all the plants that are there, right? Those plants roots or the branches are not specifically being recycled, or the gardeners don't really know what they can do. Up to my knowledge, to a lot of people I have seen, like they don't necessarily know what they have to do with those things, so they simply burn the dry leaves or throw it to the other's house, like they throw it into the plain lands. And I feel that that is one of the problem here, right? But still, when we see in other nations, people mostly actually they try to degrade that waste. They try to use the leaves and try to make it in a manure and compost so that they can reuse it, and so that that can give a lot of minerals to the roots, and in that way plants will also grow, right? But that is something, awareness in that part I think we are also missing. And in that part, I think if we give more awareness into that part, then I feel that there is a lot of scope and people would necessarily implement that as well. So I believe, that is what I needed to add up to that. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for your opinions. Like again, I would like to add up on that when we talked about making manure from the dry leaves, people here in Nepal and India, we think that okay, that's something that I should not do because it's a low standard of work maybe. But people in the foreign countries who are more developed than us, they perform such activities. Definitely means that making that is fruitful and that is worth it. But we just ignore it because it has some low standard involved. So yes, really, we should not think about what work is low standard or what work is high standard sort of thing, but we should focus on the results, on the repercussions that we are gonna see further. Because if we focus on the low standard of works right now, then later on the repercussions are gonna fall on us itself, and then we are gonna suffer. So I feel our second panelist, Ms. Yashvi, has left us due to some connection issues. No worries, we could carry on. And now we are at the end of our panel discussion. I feel it's really heart-touching that we have come to the end, and how the time has passed, I just don't know. We really involved fruitful insights. We got your opinions, and let's come to a conclusion and let's end it out over here. So starting from the problems of waste management, we came to know that we need to include a why not we attitude, because the problem is in the people, the perceptions of the people, and the lack of awareness in the people, as per our first speaker. So she thinks that why not we attitude should be instilled in all of us. After that, moving on towards the second speaker, we came to know that there could be a lot of solutions to the problem that we suffer due to improper waste management, like installing the dustbins, and that not only a single dustbin, but types of dustbin, and segregating the waste in a proper manner so as to deliver the waste at the right place in the right manner. So that was the main thing that our second speaker would like to deliver. And moving on, we had the importance of awareness programs and campaigns from our third speaker, who also included that people should themselves be involved in it. And also, she said us that wiseness comes not from being educated, but wiseness comes from applying it, from implementing it in our general and daily life. So this was the overall overview, we could say, of the entire discussion. And like at last, I would like to add up by saying that it was all revolving around people. Everyone included people, because people are the root of everything. People are the ones who self-generate the waste, and people are the ones who self-cry over the waste. So I think people is the most important topic that should be focused on, and maybe the next topic for our panel discussion. So let's end the panel discussion for today. We really got fruitful insights and opinions from all of you. Thank you for having us. Oh, thank you for being here and thank you for having me. I think that sounds mean, but that's fine, I think. So let's end out the panel discussion. Thank you everyone for watching our panel discussion.